Did you know that September 26th is National Pancake Day? Any food as delicious as a pancake deserves its own day, don't you think? So in honor of National Pancake Day, I'm making pancakes. These are apple pancakes, nice and light, applesauce and pieces of apple. Starting off with a cup of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of sugar. To that, add 1¼ teaspoons of baking powder. Who doesn't love a pancake? It's an excellent breakfast, even though I personally think it's kind of like dessert, but don't tell my kids because they think it's the best breakfast ever. 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. Not that I make them for them that much. I almost never do. Does that make me a bad mom? Maybe. 1/4 teaspoon of fine salt. Whisk it together. Now this is a relatively small amount of pancake batter, so you can double or triple or quadruple this recipe to your liking. All right, now for the wet ingredients. I'm using buttermilk today, 1 cup of buttermilk, low fat. These are low fat pancakes. And to replace some of the fat in the recipe, I'm using applesauce. So I'm using 1/2 cup of applesauce. It's a classic fat replacer in baked goods. 1 tablespoon of butter. Lots of pancake recipes use like 6 tablespoons. So this is very low in fat. And then 1 large egg. Whisk together, and then whisk the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. It's as easy as that. You don't want to over combine at this point. Most pancake recipes usually say something like, some small lumps may remain, and that's because you don't want to overwork it because your pancakes will end up tough. If there's a few small lumps or quite a few lumps, just stop stirring and get ready to cook. All right. To make it even more apple-y, you want to cut up an apple, like a Gala or a Fuji or something like that. Something firm, something crunchy, something slightly sweet. Whatever kind of apple you want. Don't listen to me. What do I know? I don't even know where you live. You might not be able to get the same kind of apples I do. So dice it up. Like I said, this is a double apple pancake. You get applesauce in it, but also little bites of apple. You want to make them small enough so that they'll cook in the amount of time it takes to cook a pancake, which isn't very long. It says small dice. I'm going to say about 1/4 inch. That seems small enough to me. You know what you should do? You should go apple picking, make your own applesauce, and then use your apples that you picked for these pancakes. But of course you don't need to. Buy applesauce, buy apples. It's okay. Not as much fun, but totally, totally fine. All right, we can cook. I have a cast iron skillet here. I'm preheating on a medium. Depending on your stove, it can be medium-high. You can either spray it with vegetable oil cooking spray or rub it with a little bit of oil. I'm kind of being a little generous, but if you want to be super low fat, just do a nice thin coating. And then 1/4 cup at a time, drop the batter into the pan. It's not even sizzling, so I'm turning it up slightly. You know what's really great for cooking pancakes? Electric skillets. Do you have one of those? I don't, but I know they're really good for pancakes. And then a little bit of the apple on each pancake. You want to cook them until they're cooked about 1/4 of the way into the center, and then they'll be ready to flip. Of course, knowing me and my pancake history, I'll probably make a mess, so stand by. You want to make sure that your apples are cut small enough that they'll cook through 2 to 3 minutes per side. So I would say less than 1/4 inch is probably a good size. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I think I get a little impatient with pancakes sometimes and I try to have the heat too high. Slow is better with pancakes because you don't want them to burn. They're ready. I, for one, am ready for some pancakes. I don't know about you. Now these are little petite pancakes because they're lower in fat and we don't want you overeating, but they're so fluffy and nice and delicious filled with apple. I'm just gonna take a little break from cooking and eat some now. How about a little bit of maple syrup? Delicious. You're gonna love them. Whip up a couple batches of these apple pancakes and save some of them in the freezer. And then whenever you want pancakes, you can just take one out, drop it in your toaster, and you can have pancakes any day of the week. Enjoy. Hi guys, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click here if you want to subscribe and click over here if you want to continue watching more great videos like this.